Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Skye Media Ventures podcast. I'm your host, Nathaniel J. Carrasco. Guys, it's been a few months. We are now in season 3. We wrapped up season 2 a couple months ago, and wow, we got fabulous feedback. Our audience, the viewers on social media, a lot of people enjoyed the short clips that we produced, the interviews, the talks that we had with other entrepreneurs, business owners, and artists. And today for season 3, man, I'm so excited because we have two very special guests who, we've been planning this for about a month now. And something at Skye Media Ventures that we always look out for is we always look out for young entrepreneurs on the move, building something who have both talent and work ethic, both personality, charisma, but also character. And these two young ladies, Skye and Nita, are the founders of Eclectic. I've been pronouncing the name of their company for the last hour before the video starts. I was like, guys, this is how you pronounce it, right? So they are here now, and they're here on the podcast to tell us about how they started their organization and where they want to take it, and maybe some guidance they can give you along the way. So, guys, Skye, Nita, welcome to the Skye Media Ventures podcast. Welcome aboard.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you guys came from Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. How was the trip?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it was a little cold from D.C., so being in Florida, super enjoying the weather down here.
Okay, gotcha. That's amazing. Guys, I want to hear a little bit about this organization that you started in Washington, D.C., just like why did you start this, and what is Eclectic to somebody watching right now? They see you guys on the podcast. What is Eclectic, and what's the purpose, and how can someone benefit from it?
We founded Eclectic because we realized that there are a lot of people that are motivated to actually execute their ideas from a younger age than originally, right? So we have a lot of young 20-year-olds and early 30-year-olds that are starting their own ventures, and they took the leap of faith and they're betting on themselves. And so we wanted to create a community where you're constantly surrounded by high achievers and people that wanted to monetize their passions and didn't want to accept a life that, working for someone else, right? What's the saying? It's that salaries are what people pay you to create their dreams.
Ooh, that's important right there.
So really creating a community where people are encouraged to pursue their own passions and monetize and create their own lives.
Yeah, it almost sounds like you guys are creating a community that's tailored for the entrepreneurial spirit. Maybe someone that's like in their late 20s, early 30s. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're just trying to start create ideas in their head, and they're like, okay, I have these ideas, now I need to find a community and some space and some other ideas to kind of like mix in the brain to kind of figure out how you're going to catapult or how you're going to start that venture.
Yeah, exactly. I think it goes back to when we graduated college too. We were kind of in a position where you're either you're going out to bars, you're having fun with your friends, or you're focused on networking, you're focused on career. But we found there was no place where you could do both. So we decided to create that, where it's a place where people can still have fun and enjoy themselves, listen to music, but be around high achieving people, be around inspiring people, and have those kinds of conversations.
Yeah, I love that. There's a kid on Instagram. You ever seen that cold caller kid on Instagram? He does the insurance. I'm sure he makes a great career, but he's having fun doing it. He's blasting the music and stuff like that. So I think you said something important. Your entrepreneurial job, whatever you're building, it doesn't have to be grim. Like, you could still have a great time building it. Have make sure you have the proper business expenses, so you can have a great time, and it could be really fun. Fun and beneficial.
Yeah, we do a lot of different things, from public events, but we also do member-only events too. So these are really programs and workshops tailored to what our members want. So a lot of people right now are interested in growing their social media platform or a personal brand. So we'll bring in an expert, and they'll kind of teach our people how to be better at that. We do all kinds of other kinds of workshops, AI, crypto.
You guys have some good social media videos. Who's the? I'm curious. Who's the mastermind behind all the videos that I see on Instagram?
I would humbly like to say CapCut.
Nice. I love that.
And an export through the Edits app, of course, at 4K, no HDR.
No, Nita's been editing her own videos for a long time too, and for some other companies, I think before Eclectic. So she has that experience for sure. So she runs it.
Wow. After the show, I'm gonna have to get some tips from you because I create a lot of videos, but I feel like there's an editing piece that I'm not doing, and I feel like the algorithm loves that. Do you agree?
So what I would say is that because our Gen Zers don't have the same attention span as we used to be able to, right? The big focus right now is short clips, but it's not short meaning 30 seconds. It's like, oh, in the first 2 seconds, you have to have something change, or you have to have a sound effect, whether that's the oven ding or the countdown or something. You constantly need attention grabbers throughout your content. And even when it comes to audios, a lot of people, I love to extract my audio, right? So I'll have the original in real time video clip, but extracting audios and then literally clipping them so they overlay over each other. So the end of a sentence, the next sentence is already starting. Like it's all of these really small things that come into keeping someone's attention and keeping the user's attention.
And you do that all on CapCut?
I do.
Wow. Okay.
I do. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Who taught you? Like, did you just learn from YouTube and stuff like that? Like, who really showed you the ropes on CapCut?
I would truly say, one, I put myself in situations where I had to do it myself, and I'm also the biggest critique of my own work. So to constantly rewatch it and be like, oh, that 0.2 seconds is a little bit extra. And so it takes a lot of
attention to
perfectionist.
I'm like creating a video. I'm like there's like 10 seconds like that doesn't need to be there. I'm like, oh, that's okay. They'll just have to watch it. You know, it's probably why my views aren't as high as your guys's. You know, that's interesting. I want to ask you guys, what kind of students were you guys growing up? Like in middle school, high school, college? Like were you guys always very poised and very focused, or did you guys kind of have a different route kind of growing up? The only reason why I asked is because I had a terrible, experience growing up, but then in college I did a lot of entrepreneurial things that helped me in my professional career. So I'm kind of curious, for your guys' formal education, how did you prepare yourself to take a leap of faith in creating Eclectic?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think first of all, we are very lucky for where we grew up, and we grew up in Northern Virginia, surrounded by a lot of opportunities. Very lucky. We both have great families who pushed us to really follow our dreams. So we are lucky in that sense. I think both of us did well in school, but I think we always kind of felt like maybe we wanted something more than just school. Like I never loved going to class. I never loved studying. I never loved doing my homework. I don't think I studied for a single test in high school. I mean, I still did well, but I just always felt like I was drifting toward extracurriculars and hanging out with my friends, wanting to do something more. I also had a big thing for doing philanthropy and working for different organizations that were always like mission based. I always was into travel. I feel like school for us was never so much our complete focus, although we did well. In high school, we definitely loved throwing parties and bringing people together.
You guys some party girls?
I don't know about party girls, but I think it comes from just loving connecting people. We love bringing people together from a bunch of different high schools. And that kind of, I guess, led us into where we are now and why we're doing what we're doing. We just love connecting people who might not meet each other normally.
I feel you on the connecting with people part. People used to ask me in college what I was going to do after college, and I was like, I don't really know. I told people government contracting, but like I knew like that was probably not solid. But I knew I was going to be dealing with people. I said whatever I'm going to be doing, I knew I was going to be dealing with people, and I was probably going to get into sales. Which is weird because when you're in college telling people you're going to get into sales, they're like, oh, well, like, why'd you go into college? But it's just, I think there's an important piece of the entrepreneurial aspect to be good with people. There's actually 2 books that I would highly recommend if anybody wants to get good with people. And I'm curious about if you guys have read any good material on this, but everybody's read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And if you haven't read that book, I highly recommend. But then there's another book called How to Have Power and Confidence in Dealing with People by Les Gibson. That book right there, that book's a game changer right there. Have you guys ever came across any reading material that was in the category of like people relationships and stuff like that?
Well, I did read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I love that. Yeah. Super old book. It's like almost 100 years old.
Yeah. And I think a lot of my people, when it comes to dealing with people, I think a lot of it is just in real time and right then and there. That's where the connection comes from, and you know kind of how to make a conversation flow once you see how they're responding to you and what do a chameleon to your locations, right? Or to your interactions. So I kind of change the way I speak based on who I'm speaking to, and I get a sense of that within the first couple seconds.
Sure.
I want to say just
Oh, that's good. So you almost like you pivot well into like
even off the greeting.
You have to.
Like, is this person someone that's like, "Hi, love, it's so nice to meet you," or "Yeah, what's up? How's your day?"
Yeah.
And then immediately you kind of have a sense of how they're going to speak and how you can better relate to them with your words.
You'd be great in sales.
Thank you. I've done sales before. That's actually how I think I got kickstarted on entrepreneurship in general. Obviously, it helped having a mom that did real estate and pursued that after she started as a dental hygienist. And so to kind of split your time and do real estate and realize, wow, this is really, this is allowing me to create the life I want and have the freedom I want for myself. So I watched my mom conduct sales pretty much her entire life.
Yeah, that's so
Even
interesting.
and a lot of them were friends, I want to say, at the beginning, especially when she was first starting, like the first time her friends decided to buy a house, right? So she's even upselling her friends, not upselling them in the sense of, you know, she did it for less, honestly. Like a lot of people do 3%, and with friends, she's not really looking to, you know, benefit off of them. It's just, hey, I can help you with this decision. How can I make that happen?
I'm curious. I want to ask you something. I also learned sales from my mother. Both my mother and my father were in sales. My father sold on logic and my mother sold on emotion. And like when strangers would meet her, they would always say, "Oh, it's like I've known you for a long time, for like years or something." So I'm curious, was your mother, did she teach you more logical sales of how to know all the ins and out of the product and service, how to be like super expert particular so like the prospect knows that this is a competent person? Or was your mom more of a salesperson that was very emotional, feelings, like people just felt like they trusted them immediately?
Yeah, I think my mom has a lot of strong opinions. So it was emotional and people trusted her opinions because she's so strong with her words and so adamant about what she's spewing, right? So it's kind of hard to not believe in someone when they speak with so much confidence and so much certainty.
Sure.
So she's definitely more emotional, but has enough background to sell it, right? She knows the numbers, and she also knows what this person needs to hear. And so I would definitely say emotional. Her sales tactics.
That's fantastic. Skye, have you ever done sales before?
No.
You're gonna every entrepreneur is gonna have to sell something.
I mean, I think through Eclectic, yes. But my prior career experience, not so much. I think I was always kind of selling what I wanted. I think I found a lot of opportunities to do really cool things. And I kind of would sell to people to get me to do those things.
Sure.
But it wasn't so much in my
Skye's
job.
like a ninja saleswoman. Like she's selling a concept or an idea, and you don't even know that you're buying.
Yeah,
it.
I'm discreet.
I want to ask you guys. I see a lot of your content affiliated with like Aston Martin and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. How did you get that affiliation with Aston Martin, or like what? I mean, sometimes I see you guys hosting stuff over there. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, how did you guys secure that partnership?
Well, so we have an upcoming event at the Aston Martin, March 28th. It's in Virginia, the Aston Martin dealership of DC. But we were partnering with another company, and now we're just kind of full sending it ourselves. We're gonna have DJs. We're gonna have open bar. We're gonna have so many cool things there.
I love that. I love full send it yourself.
Yep.
I love it. That's awesome. Skye, tell us a little bit about your professional experience before Eclectic. Just like I'm just kind of
Yeah.
curious. I love getting into the minds of young entrepreneurs before they launch their career. So
Yeah, so I did not have any plans of becoming an entrepreneur, really. I in college I wanted to go into international affairs, international development, policy, all of that. I went abroad to a few different countries doing projects in education, human trafficking prevention, healthcare. I've been to Panama, El Salvador, Guatemala,
wow.
South Africa, a bunch of different places to do these kind of projects that are to help local communities. And I was planning,
Out of the country.
yeah, out of the
Wow.
country. So I always was interested in kind of global affairs. And then I had plans on going into the Peace Corps, actually. That was kind of my dream for a while. Got approved, got in and everything, medically cleared. And then COVID was going on. My graduation got delayed. My placement country switched a couple different times. So I ended up not doing it. Ended up
Were you out of the country when COVID happened?
no. I was in Miami, and then COVID happened, came home, and then we were just home for like a semester. I was mostly just home with my family, really. But then I went to Cape Town, South Africa, instead of going to the Peace Corps, working in some schools there. And then when I came back, I ended up getting a full-time job doing like headhunting, executive search and recruitment, leadership advisory for a
Like
firm.
staffing?
Kind of like staffing,
Okay.
but for C-suite.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I focus though on international development and nonprofits. So a lot of our clients were things like the World Bank, the UN Foundation, places that I could have seen myself working for. And I always knew I wanted to eventually lead a mission-driven organization. So Eclectic is mission-driven, of course, but part of what we want to do down the road is have an umbrella company for Eclectic where
Yeah, I was curious about that.
Yeah.
That was like my next question. Naturally, I was thinking, what's the vision? Like, what's the future you see with it? Like right now, I'm thinking, you're an association, you're helping local entrepreneurs, a space, have fun, but then also network so they help advance in their career. It's important to do that. What's the vision?
I mean, eventually, and I think in the near-ish future, next couple years, first step is we want to expand to other cities around the U.S. and globally. But we don't want to go into cities that might already have a ton of entrepreneurs and organizations that support them. We would want to go to cities that it might be more of a niche thing and go to ones that have good music and just cool things going on there that are a little bit different than what you might expect.
Give me a city that you're thinking of. I feel like she's thinking of a city, right?
I mean, I love like Berlin,
I knew-
Barcelona, Cape Town, all of those. Where it like not in New York as much, not as San Francisco as much.
Okay.
Places where there's
Nashville?
maybe in Nashville, places where there's a lot of culture and a lot of art and a lot of music and a lot of people doing really cool things, but it might not be so normal and average to be an entrepreneur. But then, so that's part of it. But we also want to, this umbrella company concept where we want to have a philanthropic branch. We want to have a venture arm where we can invest in our members and their products and their services. We want to keep the Eclectic social club, but we also want to have an Eclectic. We started out as Eclectic Entertainment. We want to have a Eclectic Entertainment media branch,
Yeah.
podcast, music label, all of that.
Now you guys are thinking. Record
We have big dreams. We
Yeah.
have big dreams.
Hey, if you talk to AI, talk to chat about it, it'll help you develop this vision. That's where the entertainment part, the media aspect, that's what we did with our company. So like when we built Skye Media Ventures, we needed money and revenue. So that's where the advertising came into place. That's where our services came into place. And then for the media arm, we have the podcasting arm. So, but what's great about a podcast, and this is great for anybody watching, a podcast helps you build authority in whatever field that you're in or whatever, a podcast just helps you build authority. So I know for us, we use the podcast to build the personal brand, but then also with our industry that we work with in marketing, we work a lot with pool builders, pool service companies. When we interview those people, it helps our authority in that type of industry. So I think that's a good idea to create a media arm and to create like media podcasting because it's going to help you in every way, just kind of establish your brand a little bit more.
Yeah, we have a lot of people, like members too, who are interested in starting a podcast too. So like we would love to have Eclectic as the podcast, and then we can feature a lot of our members who are entrepreneurs.
Don't you guys have space in your studio?
Yeah, we have a space in downtown Washington, D.C. It's where we do our operations, but we also do events and workshops there. It's a co-working space for our members, and then we're building out a podcast and content creation studio too.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could do what Ben's doing here.
Yeah.
And just rent out some space. I'm sure after the session you could talk to Ben and he could give you some pointers.
Yeah.
Every business needs a way to make good revenue, so that's I think that would help you guys also.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. I want to ask you guys too. Do you guys like to listen to any podcasts or anything like that? Like, is there any type of speaker that you guys listen to, especially that kind of helps you with your mindset development? Anybody that the audience can kind of pick up some game from?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I love Joe Dispenza.
Who's that?
Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He does a lot of meditations as well and is very entrepreneurial focused. He built out pretty much a whole wellness platform, I would say.
Oh, wow.
And then also just guides you on what kind of habits to have as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And then also Anthony Robbins, of course.
Tony Robbins?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Tony Robbins.
How did you get introduced to the Tony Robbins material?
A book that he wrote called Unlimited Power, which basically talked about neuro-linguistic programming and being able to wire your brain to think thoughts that you want it to. Right?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And so I actually went to his master class in DC.
No way.
And took a couple of things away from that. I highly recommend if you are
met
ever
him?
on Instagram. Sadly not. I don't know.
You saw him on stage? Like, was he on stage? Okay.
Well,
gotcha.
so if you ever are scrolling on Instagram and you see a free event just kind of pop up and it's advertised and it's talking about a master class, just go. Just sign up and show up and go. You never know, one, who you're going to meet there, and two, what sentence is going to resonate with you most when you walk away.
Absolutely.
And so a big thing I think during that masterclass that I learned was a lot of people think as consumers rather than think as
Producers.
owners.
Yeah, or owners. Yeah,
Owners, right? So
love that.
the idea is not about owning an iPhone, it's about owning Apple. So there's just a lot of different things I take away from going to random events that I see popping up on my feed and signing up for the online classes or webinars and constantly having a learning mindset. And I think is the biggest thing when it comes to being an entrepreneur. And
You're saying something that I hope the audience is really grabbing. Like, you have to, some people say opportunity knocks on every door. Opportunity does not knock on every door. Opportunity stands by quietly, silently, waiting for us to recognize it. And that's what you have to do. That's what you just said right now. If you see an ad that says free mastermind class, it's free, then you have to have that growth mindset to at least take a risk to expense your time to at least go there and check it out. But some people, when they say free mastermind event, free, oh no, I don't want to go. This is a scam. I don't want to do this. What the heck am I talking about? This must be just a waste of my time. It's like, what do you have to lose?
exactly. Exactly.
What do you have to lose and what do you have to gain? You know, right?
Yeah.
I think you've demonstrated that very excellently, Nita. And I also like the fact that you read that Tony Robbins book. When I was 19, I picked up a book. It's in my library, actually. My first Tony Robbins book was called Awaken the Giant Within.
Okay.
So they have Unlimited Power. I haven't read that one. But he wrote another one called Awaken the Giant Within. And in that book, I wrote down, when I'm 24, I want to make $10,000 a month. Didn't make $10,000 a month, but we did have 2 months where we made great money.
Let's go.
So that was interesting. So Skye, for the audience, Skye and I used to work together for a summer. So that was awesome.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 in California.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great time. That was a great time. What about you? Do you like to? Is there any like inspirational podcasts or like people on YouTube you like to research to collect some information from?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been following and love the podcast Powerhouse Women. Also, happy Women's Month to everyone.
International Women's.
International Women's Month.
I love that.
Yeah, so Powerhouse Women. It's just all about it's just all about female entrepreneurs and navigating.
We need more of those.
Yeah, navigating careers as a woman too. Like there's just differences, and it features a lot of these women who are very successful and approaches and introduces business to women in a way I think that is relatable to women and understandable to women, and highlights how our differences are inspiring and how we can be successful. Yeah. So that's one that I love. And then I also love Andrew Huberman. He's a Stanford neuroscientist, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm big into health and wellness too. So he spits the facts with health and wellness and science-backed information. So I love all that stuff.
I love that. I love what you said about the women entrepreneurs. One of my favorite women entrepreneurs is the founder of Mary Kay. Mary Kay Cosmetics is like a cosmetic brand, and I seen my oldest sister Sabrina, like growing up representing Mary Kay products and like pushing that product and recruiting and stuff like that. And I just thought like, wow, there was a woman named Mary Kay that created this huge organization just for women, just so they could sell cosmetics products, lipsticks, all these other products, and then get wealthy doing it. Like I'm like, wow, like that's it's pretty noble. It's pretty noble right there.
Yeah,
it's definitely.
That's something we're right now. I think we've been not struggling, but I think we're trying to relate to more women founders. Like a lot of people who are immediately interested in Eclectic and what we're doing skew toward male. So we're really trying to encourage more women who are even curious about starting a business to join us and come to our events and check out what we're doing. Even if like you don't already have a business, if you're just interested in starting a business, like we're a place where people can learn and see if it's something they want to do. Because I don't know why, but I think women just tend to be less inclined to jump right into what we're doing. A lot of women come to our events, of course, but we want to encourage more women to start businesses and to just be curious about it in general.
Yeah. There's the woman who started Spanx. Mm-hmm. That's also, I heard her interviewed the other day. Like she's like a billionaire, and she started like a legging company that was like, what if it had leggings that weren't see-through and they were like stretchy? And then she was like, such a simple concept. And she's like, yeah, I made $1 billion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's how easy and simple that an idea could be.
Yeah.
And really transform your life.
Even, I forget the name of the company, but there's a woman that decided to brand hand sanitizers. Like mini hand sanitizers, they are now branded with different cartoons, or maybe they're Barbie branded, and she made $800 million by branding such a one product.
$800 million. Wow. You see, it's all about branding, owning the music, like the record labels. It's all about ownership, equity, stuff like that. I feel like what's it called? Not investment banking, but private equity. Mm-hmm. That's a field that after you become a very successful business owner, like there's levels to the game, mm-hmm. and I'm looking forward to those levels right there. Yeah. Do you guys do any investing at all? Stocks, real estate, anything like that? Crypto? You guys ever dabbled in any of this stuff before?
Dabble with Robinhood. Surely dabble with Robinhood. I also dabbled a little bit with crypto. I think the meme coin craze, I got into it because it was kind of quick, and
no way.
It's such a quick return, right? So I'm like sitting there and I'm like, oh wow, go up. But now I tend to lean a little bit further away from crypto. We have a lot of crypto events. We like to educate everyone on it. I think it's purely beneficial to know about that industry. But I also think there's a little bit of this poisonous mindset, which isn't directly related to crypto, but the mindset behind fast money. Like, it creates almost like a sort of greed and also like an entitlement to money. And I think that delayed gratification is a really big practice when it comes to entrepreneurship, because when you're starting your own business, most of the time you're bootstrapped, you're not accepting an income. And so you're also watching a lot of your friends who have jobs make money every week and every month go on all these experiences.
She's bringing me back my first 7 months of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's tough.
It's really hard to see everyone be able to do all of these things, and then you're like, well, I have this long-term vision in mind, and I have to only be doing things that are going to get me to that point fastest. So I just tried to not that I try to avoid it, but I try to avoid instant. Like, I love, obviously the idea behind instant income is great, but building something sustainable and long term is, at the end of the day, I think our biggest focus.
Hey, this isn't checkers. We're playing chess.
Exactly.
This is the long game.
Exactly.
No, I get you. No, I love that right there. Yeah. What always helps me. I spoke about this on a podcast with another guest that was on the show, Camille. He was a speaker. He was a part of the Les Brown association that happened earlier this year, where I got to see him speak on stage. He tells me that he dedicates it's hard to do this every single day, but at least an hour or 30 minutes every morning to try to get your mind right, write down your goals, condition your mind, listen to either those podcasts, those audios, or those reading a book, but do it for at least like 30 minutes to an hour at the start of your day. I've also known, if from personal experience, if you could write down your goals of just what you want to do that day, and if you could do that for a week, then at the end of the week, you're like, wow, I accomplished a lot of things. Yeah. But we have to have that discipline to get that pen and paper and write it down. I'm a big component of writing things down and speaking things, super big component. If I ever wrote a book, I would write a book. I am writing a book right now, but my second book,
really?
yeah.
That's awesome.
But the second book I would write there's a book and there's the book. I'm just writing a book right now. The book is going to be called. It's going to be about converting liquid thought into solid reality. The two things that you convert liquid thought to solid reality is writing it down and speaking it into existence.
Exactly.
Writing it and then speaking it. Even biblically, I'm a Christian. Biblically, it says you must have the faith to call forth those things that be not as though they were. So you have to speak it, write it down, scientifically, and then even in the scriptures and spiritually as well. So it's no matter where you go, that's a common ground principle. Yeah. So and I think our minds are just so much stronger beyond belief. I think we're holding back.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever feel like you're holding back?
Yeah. I mean, are you familiar with abracadabra's translation? It's either in Sanskrit or Hebrew, but it means as I speak, I create. And I think that's so powerful because a lot of people, they might have this idea or this passion and they don't want to share it with others because they're scared of jinxing it, right? But I feel as though when we have an idea or I have an idea, I'm ready to scream it from a rooftop because I know that it's going to be real or it's real and the universe is always conspiring in my favor.
Yeah. You were saying that last night when we were hanging out, we were saying, yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
You were saying you always felt like you're always in the right place
at the right time.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
It's deep rooted into me, I believe. And also, I'm sure we were talking about self-limiting beliefs and just having no place for them in your life.
Yeah.
Always believing that you can do absolutely anything and everything.
Okay. Oh no, that's amazing. All those Tony Robbins books that we read helps develop that belief.
Exactly, internal wiring. Yeah.
That's amazing. Skye, are there any I'm always curious. Are there any kind of books that you've read before in your life that just stick out, like one or two?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was at a weird point when I decided not to go into the Peace Corps and was kind of trying to figure out my life and what my next step was. And I read this book called Finding Your North Star, written by a woman. I don't remember her name.
Finding Your North Star.
Yes, Finding Your North Star. And I actually gave it to Nita. I just remembered that after.
And it was even interactive, I believe.
Yeah. But it's kind of about same thing, right place or right place, right time, that kind of stuff. And you feel an alignment when you're doing what you're meant to do. And I think I was just listening to something too about how anxiety manifests when you're doing something that's not meant for you.
Ooh.
And physical symptoms can arise too, like headaches or feeling nauseous and all of that when you're doing what's not in alignment with you.
Wow.
So I think a big thing, I mean, for both Nita and I, is really just continuing on the path that aligns with what feels true to you and what feels meant for you. That's kind of what that book's all about in terms of job, career, but also relationships, family, priorities.
It's like figure out what that gift that you have is, and what turns you on, that gift that God's given you, and then do that activity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do that activity, it's like it's not being grateful of the gift that you were born with, you know.
Yeah.
Like for instance, the two gifts that I had is like communicating with people. That's a gift right there. Communicating with people, that was a huge. And I was like, whatever I do with my career, I have to be communicating with people, and that's why I choose sales. And then a marketing firm is because it's like that's all you're doing is communicating with people. I think if I were to do construction, and I did construction in the first part of my career, it just made my soul hurt because my gift was communicating, and you didn't need to talk. Being at a construction site, they wanted you to shut up and use your back. You know, they didn't want you to use your brain, have a strong back.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think mine are people, connecting with people, and then I've always just loved, I don't know, travel and experiencing new things and new cultures. So finding a job or a career path that aligns with that. So every day I'm talking to people, new people. Every day I'm experiencing new things. Our schedule's never the same every day. And then taking those opportunities where you can travel, like coming down here, you know. This is all stuff that's so important to me and that I feel fulfilled in my life and my career. And so for me, at least, it's important for me to always be connecting with people and experiencing new things.
Sure, that's amazing. Nita, what do you think? And I could totally see those gifts, in you, especially the travel and the communicating. Nita, what do you think your God-given gifts are?
Connecting with people. No, truly.
No, you guys, those two skills from both of you guys are like making it even like twice, 3 times like magnified.
1,000%. I think Skye and I, leading with kindness. I've never had, I think, someone so close in my life that is literally breeded in the same way that I am, and consistently being kind and leading with love and giving first has just been a theme that has brought us so many opportunities and abundance in other areas of our life. So I would say, to what is ahimsa, nonviolence to yourself, nonviolence to others, and nonviolence to the world. And consistently keeping that with you. I think Skye and I make a lot of magic together because we lead with kindness. And if you're an entrepreneur, I 100% back, give first. Don't.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and always, I think part of with connecting with people and connecting people in general is seeing how I can help someone else. Like, oh, you have this skill, let me connect you with this friend who needs someone like that. Like always connecting the dots and seeing how people could work together. And then it furthers other people's goals and other people's careers, which then in turn, like somehow the universe rewards you back. But that's kind of what we're all about, is connecting people to help further what they're looking to do.
At the top, it's not about competition, it's about collaboration.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. You hit it on the head when you were talking about giving. You know, we talked about that again a couple days ago, where there's this book that I read about prosperity. It was called like Unlimited Prosperity. As much prosperity as you want in the world, in the universe, you can have as much. What's the secret? In this little book, it was like 80 pages, and it was literally one principle. It was saying give. It was saying give. Yeah. You want to be prosperous. Find a way to give. Find a way to give.
My mom would always say, whenever you're feeling bad about yourself or low, go help someone else.
Right.
And then you'll feel immediately better. Like giving back to someone or something. It's like, I feel like it's what we're meant to do. We're supposed to help each other.
Well, think about all the people who've given to us.
Exactly.
To gotten to this point. There's been a lot of people who've given me free stuff. Like they gave me so much value that I feel like I should have been writing them a check. But, they just see something in all of us. They see something in the audience, and they give back. And they give back to you guys as well. And, I think your guys' future is bright. Very bright. And I'm very proud of both of you. Keep doing your thing. You guys have a connection here in South Florida, a connection at Skye Media Ventures. We love hosting young, beautiful entrepreneurs like yourself who just have a dream, and you guys are going for it. And thank you for being on the podcast. I want to ask you guys both something. for the audience, before we sign off, is there any last minute promotion or any last minute words of wisdom that you want to leave the audience before we conclude the session?
Good question. Well, we're based in Washington, D.C., so a lot of our things are in person.
Let's
in
promote you guys for a second.
Yeah, so our next event is March 28th at the Aston Martin dealership. And it's kind of one of our flagship events. So we have one big flagship event every month. And then we also have workshops going on every month. We have members only nights. So we have a lot of fun stuff going on in DC. And we're always looking for members and referrals for members who are based in Washington, DC area right now. So anyone who's an aspiring entrepreneur and creative, we would be happy to meet.
Hey, that's awesome. Nita, do you have any last minute words?
I would say a phrase that's been going through my head a lot as of lately is you're most like the 5 people you surround yourself most with. So, my first boss actually told me this in an analogy, and I don't love it, but it's, surround yourself with 9 crackheads. What are you meant to be? The 10th crackhead, right?
Yeah.
So surround yourself with 9 millionaires or billionaires. What are you meant to be? The 10th, right? So, constantly keeping in mind who you're spending your time with and how you guys are spending your time is incredibly important, which is, again, why we founded Eclectic, because we wanted to breed a community of people that you could collaborate with or learn from or have conversations that you don't feel like you're wasting your time because you constantly feel like you're a student of your environment. So pay attention to who's in your life and who you're spending time with, and be cognizant of whether or not the way you're spending every minute or a second or hour is going to help you hit your goals faster.
It all compounds.
Exactly.
It all compounds.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. First episode of the season 3 Skye Media Ventures podcast. I am so excited that we have Nita and we have Skye here from Eclectic. These young women, they amaze me, and I hope they inspire other young ladies and other young men, entrepreneurs out there, to live your dreams. Don't ever forget, sky's the limit. You guys got this. Skye and Nita, they believe in you. Don't ever give up, and come back next time for the next episode. Bye, guys.
Hi, thanks, Nate.
Thanks for having us, Nathaniel.